Hello and welcome. We are going to cover the full moon that is taking place in the sign of Libra today. I will be sharing the Sabian symbol. Again, I just want to share that I am not an astrologer, but I have a love of astrology and I intend on being a student of astrology for the rest of my life because it just fascinates me. So, Libra energy, this full moon's taking place right after the huge once in a lifetime conjunction between Neptune and Jupiter in the sign of Pisces. Powerful times to liberate ourselves, to rise above, to bring more equality within ourselves, more balance within ourselves, and to be able to take that out there in relationships to others. So the first six houses of astrology are where we should be developing a strong sense of self. And then Libra comes in at the seventh house. It's the cardinal energy of air. It's the breath in between breath, right? Like the holding, releasing, the ebb and flow of it. So it's a time to allow this culmination to reflect upon how we are being with ourselves. Again, the full moons always happen in the opposition. So the sun is in Aries. We're just about to finish up Aries season, where it's the self, right? The cardinal energy of fire, spark of life and creation. And the axis is Libra, about where we take our true selves forward in relationships, in harmony, in balance. So a lot of us are purging and releasing, and it's always my encouragement here on my channel to make sure you're taking care of self first, filling your own cup first, so that you can be a healthy individual when you take yourself out there in communion with relationships with others. It's the balance of the feminine, masculine, the divine within you. And so just keep that in mind because it's powerful. This is happening again right around Passover. So think about what that is symbolically within you, right? A resurrection of self, taking a more healthy, healed version of yourself forward into the relationships. A lot of people are ending relationships that maybe no longer serve. Maybe there was codependent bonds in the past in relationships, and that's something that you can purge and keep leveling yourself up so that you can have more healthy. It's always about a good, healthy balance of receive, give, do, be still. Um, so another energy, the Libra energy, I have three planets actually, which is called the stellium in Libra. And so the Libra energy and harmony can take into consideration other perspectives, other people's feelings, other people's emotions. On the low vibration of Libra, it can be self-sacrificial, right? So how have you been self-sacrificial in relationship with others? How have you sacrificed your own feeling and identity of self? And it really boils down to codependency. It can be an indecisive energy within you if you're not strongly anchored within your own self of your true identity. And so when we know better, we do better. So just keep in mind when you have a true sense of your own identity, you're then able to make decisions that are very, very decisive instead of indecisive. This Libra full moon is taking place at 2:55 p.m. on Saturday, April 16th, 2022. At this time, the sun and the moon are in a square with Pluto, which is Pluto is the transformational planet. Pluto will go dive deep. Capricorn is known to be the energy of these structures that have been put in place that have dominated over humanity. And so I feel it's going to be very intense, especially with everything going on as above, so below, as we see and witness in how our relationships have played out, how we've all co-created this imbalance. within humanity of giving our power away. Our power can't be taken unless we give it. And so what happens when you come into your true identity of who you are, you stand in your power in a calm, peaceful, very sure of yourself way. And therefore we see, starting out, relationship to self, Aries, relationship to others, Libra. And so what happens when we have this huge transformation within us, a healing, right? We still have Chiron in Aries, along with the sun. What else is there? Let's see if I can do share screen. Let's see. There we go. Yes, we can. So at the time of this full moon in Libra, we have the sun making its way out of Aries at the end degrees, 2645. So therefore in opposition, right, this axis of Aries self, Libra relationships, 2645. And we also have, let's see, Aries. Chiron, the wounded healer. I've been discussing that over the past year and a half about healing the wounds, coming back into your wholeness of who you truly are, and being able to be that healer first of self, and then being that one who is able to take that out there in relation to those around you, to the world, to change for a better humanity. We have a lot going on with this full moon, and the squares are always a tension, but the squares can provide the opportunity for the most growth within yourself, within the collective. And so coming into the square with Pluto in Capricorn, a lot of things. What is the Pluto? It is at 28 degrees. And so with that, a lot of things coming out that have been hidden in the structures that we've all been kind of under for most of our lives. Things being revealed where we've given our power away, where it was taken very willingly by structures in our lives. And so just keep in mind the revelations that's taking place within humanity, and that will continue to make things be revealed. It's time to just kind of be in this equal balance within ourselves, very representative of Libra, to make sure that we're not being fixed on a belief system, especially with the North Node in Taurus, the South Node in Scorpio, which isn't represented here, but this is the North Node, this little horseshoe looking thing. And then in opposition of that is Scorpio. So a lot of things of the past being revealed. Scorpio energy can be things being revealed from banking systems, finances, sexual things that have been hidden and not, in harmony. Just a lot of intensity going on. And as I learn more and more, which studying my own natal chart is how I started out, and then being able to, as an empath and a light worker, as I am healing my own self wounds of codependency, being able to be a healer, not only to myself, but to others, and through communication. Mercury is in Taurus with the North Node and Uranus. So a lot of fast, sudden epiphanies may come through to you. And the collective again, because the North Node right now in the collective is represented by Taurus. So keep trying to find the beauty in all these things, finding balance and harmony within yourselves. I was also guided this morning before I came on, in preparation for this, to bring up the essential oil clary sage. And clary sage, to me, again, I'm not replacing any medical advice because I am not a physician, but I am a healer. And clary sage came up as a wonderful essential oil right now to diffuse in your home for a balance within yourself, a balance in your hormones, because we have a lot of light. In fact, today, as I'm recording this, it's Friday, Good Friday. Passover begins today. On how we symbolically, right, Passover, resurrecting ourselves, liberating ourselves, breaking free from the enslavement of the structures that all of us have been living under. We just didn't know, right? We didn't know that we were born into a program. So keep that in mind. It'd be a great time to smudge your home. It'd be a great time to get grounded on the earth. And if you're in a city, put your hands in some house plants, do some planting of seeds that can grow. And the reason I say this is because our food, that Taurus energy, Uranus, the North Node, Mercury in the sign of Taurus, the Uranus energy specifically is earth changes to our food. And so it's a wonderful time, even though it's a full moon in Libra, where we're wanting to allow the manifestation of healthy, whole, balanced relationship. Not everybody's there. So it's just a work in progress, and being able to see in this Libra energy an open perspective, because that is a really beautiful thing about the Libra energy, is it can take into consideration not only your own feelings, thoughts, emotions, but others, and being able to just find a good, healthy balance. So if you haven't already started working on your own relationship with yourself, I would highly suggest doing that, because in order to see a better, healthy collective, we have to be, healing our own. So again, I digress, but back to the CMEs that are coming in from the sun. We're seeing a lot of energy shifts, and that's coming into our planet too. We're feeling it if you're sensitive like myself, the upgrade, the removal of density within our bodies. So make sure that Aries energy, right? The sun opposing the moon at this full moon, allow for growth within yourself, because it's also known as the pink moon, which I did a little bit of research briefly on this morning. And that's about new life. It's about a specific flowers in the spring, which we're in Aries season still, getting ready to finish it up as we move into Taurus of a seed planting time. And there's starting to be more growth. So growth within yourself. I love to look at things symbolically and metaphorically. So before we get going into the Sabian symbol, which I'll be reading, I'm going to do an overall energy for this full moon in Libra, where it's about balance. It's about breath. It's about relationship. It's about finding equality and balance. It's about able to see different perspectives, to not cling on to one ideal or belief system. Prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. So Venus rules Libra, and Venus also rules Taurus. So it's about our value, our true value. It's about knowing who we are. It's a creative energy of beauty within us, right? Venus is also about love. How are you loving yourself? Are you loving yourself in a healthy way? And then again, taking it out there in the Libra energy to where your relationships are coming into harmony. A lot of us are having a realization about our true values, again, with that North Node in Taurus, the Uranus in Taurus, Mercury in Taurus, about reestablishing our true worth, what we find beauty in, how we can represent that within ourselves in a very healthy way. So prosperity lies ahead. If you've been doing your work, have you been healing thy wounds, right? Have you become someone who knows that you have within you to the opportunity to heal every aspect of yourself? So that way you can take it out there in the relationships with others. We develop that in the first 6 houses. And then in the 7th house is where we're supposed to take that out there to the relationships, to others. So many of us are finding tribe, even if it's coming together with others online. So the opportunity is rich in prosperity, to have abundance of good things, to be strong in who you are, right? You see the bull there. And to really value self, therefore valuing others. And again, we can't control what other people do, but we do have control over how we respond, how we interact. And so let's read the Sabian symbol the moon is at 2645. So we will be reading the 27th degree of Libra. How this can play out for you is to look in your birth natal chart. And if you don't have one, there's many free ones online. To find out where 26, 27 degrees of whatever planet you have in your house, especially with this cardinal energy of Libra. So looking into the cardinal signs to see what you have in any of those particular houses, which would be Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. See what planet you have there, and then just research what the house represents and what the symbolism of each planet that may be there. So the Libra 27 degrees is an airplane hovering overhead. I think it's very symbolic of this glyph, right? It's an air sign, it's a cardinal sign, but it's this circled looking thing at the top, being able to be just hovering over and observing what we have going on within ourselves in relationship with ourselves and others. The key word is reflection. The theme for this Libra full moon is rising above it all. This symbol speaks to the development of high standards and ideals, and to the achievement of immortality through imagination and creative resourcefulness. So we have the opportunity right now, huge, because this conjunction of Neptune and Jupiter kissing and meeting up in the sign of Pisces is just a huge opportunity. Again, hasn't happened in 166 years, to be able to rise above the tension that we're witnessing, right? And in order for infection to be cleared, we have to first witness it and observe it and do something about it. And what we do first, symbolically, is to heal our own wounds so we're not projecting onto others. The image of an airplane hovering overhead symbolizes transcendence, achievement, higher perspective, and the ability to understand cause and effect relationships as the result of mastery of experience. So when you start healing your own wounds and you have a true realization of your worth, and you take that out there in relation with others, you are able to then transform your life lessons, which relationships always teach us the most, and usually it's those that are supposed to be closest to us. Then we can rise above that and be able to be masters of our own responses to outside forces, right? It can also indicate detachment, tranquility, and the preference for serene and peaceful surroundings. On a practical level, this degree suggests surveillance. On the positive side of this full moon, at its highest, the symbol represents psychological insight and a talent for maintaining poise and objectivity. So when you know who you are as a divine child of God, you therefore have a beautiful balance within yourself to be able to go, no matter what's going on in relationship with the collective and intense and crazy it is, as it is right now, to be able to hold a poise about yourself, to carry forth your wisdom. On the low aspect of this full moon in Libra is loss of touch with reality and flights of fancy and a mind wandering and refusal to take things seriously. The ascent is on a broad overview. That's very in a high vibration of Libra. It's able to just take into consideration all things, right? And stay objective. This is a time for looking at the whole picture rather than focusing on details. Your greatest advantage lies in stepping back and analyzing how you got where you are. Try to see your life in terms of cause and effect and your own part in it all, right? Before I was aware and self-realized, I was in codependent relationships, didn't even know I was in it. That's the thing about wounds. You're in a cycle and a pattern, perhaps from your youth, that you don't even know you're in. And then boom, the opportunity to wake up and go, how did I play a part in what we're seeing in relationship and collective? The risk with this full moon in Libra is guard against taking off at the wrong time and leaving situations to resolve themselves or function effectively without supervision. Don't wait too long to make an important decision, right? Indecisiveness creates chaos within ourselves. Indecisiveness allows others to perhaps us falling victim until we're no longer able to, put that energy out there to be victim. Situations don't resolve themselves. You have to resolve them. And a lot of things is through communication, being real and raw and communicating where there may be things out of balance in relationships. So the stepping stones for this full moon are perspective, overview, transcendence, surveillance, poise, contemplation, viewpoints, reflection, study, deliberation, consideration, examination. We have the opportunity to bring ourselves into harmony. This may be something that's coming into culmination if you've already been doing your work. This could be a time when relationships that need to go. And that's how we can take into consideration others, because really falling victim, we've all been victim in a way because of the hierarchy that's been created, but we all co-created it. That's the crazy part. We're seeing the infection of the collective coming out right now. We're seeing a lot of people projecting onto others and not taking an objective viewpoint, like the Libra energy on the positive of choosing sides, right, wrong, black, white, just all the duality that we experience on the earth plane. Now is the time to rise above it, to know who you are, Aries, to take it forward, Libra, in relationship. So let's do some more cards for this energy. Full moon in Libra. Remember that prosperity lies ahead in your value system when you work on self. So what else for this Libra full moon? Again, I have 3 planets in Libra, so I've always been like the diplomat. I've always wanted justice, another symbolism of Libra, wanting balance, harmony. Again, don't beat yourself up. When we know better, we do better. Queen of Swords, be sharp and assertive. So this is an energy of somebody who is standing in the power. They know who they are. They're speaking clearly from their throat chakra because it's coming from a balanced heart. It's coming from a balanced energy within themselves. So this is a time to be very sure of yourself, to speak, right? We have the Swords energy, another air energy. It's about speaking. It's about thoughts. This is somebody that's getting clear in their thoughts. This is somebody that is able to speak clearly because they know who they are. It's a very beautiful time to be assertive in that manner of speaking up for yourself, speaking up for others. Again, I've always been that one in school where I was sticking up for those who were considered to be the underdog, where they were getting bullied. I've had that energy within me all my life. Even though I didn't stick up for myself, I stuck up for others. Now that I am my Queen of Swords, sure of who I am, speaking very assertive, meaning not being aggressive, but knowing like I am a child of God. I've been healing my wounds, and now I'm speaking clearly, not only for myself, but always speaking clearly for those that haven't found their voice yet, right? 4 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, I'm sorry. Independence. This is what happens when you are sure of yourself, when you can be sharp and assertive in your thoughts, with your communication, not in an aggressive way. Let's not mistaken that. This is somebody that is done allowing projections upon themselves. You just see this 9 of Pentacles energy with her sitting on the swing of just taking that, like I shared at the beginning, that breath in between breaths. Rewarding. There's a freedom. There's an independence. It's liberation. Love it. One more from the Twin Flame Tarot. 5 of Cups, old wounds. All right, so emotional feelings, emotions. You know, transformation can be deep, can be powerful. So a lot of us have had wounds coming up with the transit of Chiron in Aries, which is the wounded healer in the sign of Self. A lot of us have had this cycle of emotional wounds coming up. Don't think that you're not making progress just because you still have wounds coming up. Let me see if I can remove the backdrop because you can see the cards better. And let's go with that. Okay, so there we go. I wanted you to see the powerfulness of this vulnerability, this darkness in the card with the old wounds. In order for us to be that light amongst ourselves and in relation with others, Libra, we have to face our shadows. We have to face our wounds, and sometimes those wounds resurface. Don't think that you're not making progress just because these wounds come up. A lot of times our wounds that we've experienced on the earth plane are where we can learn the most. The opportunities there. It's right. It's right. Face your shadows. Beautiful. Let's do another one from my astrological deck, and then we'll do an I am affirmation. Thank you so much for being here with me. How are you doing in relationship to self? How are you taking that out there with others? Be a great time to collaborate and reminisce with others under this full moon. It's very big and bright. That's why they call it the pink moon too. It's pretty close to Earth. And of course, new life coming into fruition with the spring in the Northern Hemisphere. Do breath work, meditations, powerful again with this Neptune Jupiter conjunction. Okay, I analyze. We got the energy of Virgo. Virgo rules the house just prior to the Libra energy. Virgo is about our everyday life. This is being willing and open to analyze the process within you. See what the old wounds are bringing up, analyze it, release it. Virgo energy is very practical. And on the low vibration, the Virgo energy can become self-critical or critical of others. So what happens when we come into harmony within ourselves? We take the Virgo energy and we're able to assess and analyze in a harmonious way on what is going on within us and also in relationship with others. Take care of your pets right now as well. They are feeling the influence of the coronal mass ejections that are coming into our atmosphere on the earth plane. As our consciousness rises, the sun keeps waking up. blasting us with light. Your animals feel it too. Being in service in everyday life. So this is how you can pay good attention to what's going on and really use the high vibration of this Virgo energy of analyzing and assessing what needs to go and what can stay in relationship with yourself and then others. The I am affirmation for the full moon in Libra is I approve of myself. Again, Sun in Aries, South. First 6 houses, realization of where I need to tend to myself first. So you can take that out there in relationship, because when we rise and do our own work within ourselves, we then have the opportunity to get ourselves out there in relationship with others, finding more balance, more harmony, and then eventually on the collective seeing better relationship. I send this to you guys with so much love. I hope you appreciated it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it sparked an interest within you to reflect on your growth, or perhaps the seeds that need to be planted for really nurturing self first to be able to be a healthy you, to then have relationships with others. Much love to you. Blessed full moon in Libra. Until the next time, I am Lady Virgo. Shalom, shalom.